finally, the new DVD sets of Yugioh come out. I decided to check it out and review the show because I remember loving Yugioh then. I wanted to see if I could still love it again. And I am safe to say that this season DVD, watching the show again, has restored my love for the show and the game itself. I even picked up my old deck and I'm ready to go at it. I have gotten so into the show, it has taken me over. Summon the Skull, baby. Yu-Gi-Oh! The original series. Oh my god, guys. This is the second most nostalgic anime I can say. I loved this show when I was a kid. It was a phenomenon when it came out in America. Everybody loved this show. By 2000 whatever, this show had taken over the card game, the TV show. There was so much to go over. It went through so many series, so many spin-offs, so many video games. There's just too much to go over in this review, so I'm just going to focus on the original Season 1 DVD that I'm going through. 49 episodes, first duel with Seto and Yugi, all the way over to the Dungeon Dice Monsters set. That being said, let's go. Now, as I said, it is Yu-Gi-Oh! It is a TV series based off of a children's card game that was first, of course, based on a manga that was based around a card game called Duel Monsters, which basically the game is you use monster cards, magic cards, trap cards, and other sorts of cards to duel against your opponent with a set of life points, and it just goes into detail there. Honestly, I can't explain the entire rules. Nobody can figure this damn game out. But we all loved it, and they all love it. Now, as I said, I only purchased the new box set version of this show, so the box set version I brought only has the 4Kids version of it. They didn't give us the Japanese dub, they didn't even give us subtitles for it or anything. So the only TV version I can review is the 4Kids version. So the basic plot of that version is that Yugi, who is the main protagonist of the show, is dueling his best friend Joey, who for some reason has a Brooklyn accent even though he's Japanese, you know. Makes sense. And they're just playing the game, introducing the game to the show, and they're basically saying, hey, my grandfather actually has a really rare, powerful card. You want to go see it? And everybody's like, yeah, that sounds awesome. We're going to go see it. And as the villain/rival of the show overhears it, you know, because he obviously cares about this so much. I mean, what's he got better to do? He comes over and he's like, I want this rare card of yours. This rare card happens to be something he was looking for a very long time. And so, through a series of circumstances, he takes the card and then destroys it, challenging Yugi to a duel. This is where you first see Yugi's ability. He somehow gains a Millennium item, and that is the whole story of this, that this whole thing was based on real monsters and real battles in ancient Egyptian times, millennia ago, that it was just an epic battle, and then millennia later somebody turned it into a card game. Puzzle transforms Yugi. He grows 2 feet tall, his voice gets really deep. It's actually hilarious the first time you see it, because you're like, oh my god. I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged said it best. He became better. He became the master, the king of games, the pharaoh. Now, after, of course, beating him, he gained some reputation there because apparently Kaiba is the Intercontinental Champion or whatever, the whole US or world. This gets word all the way over to the inventor of card games himself, Maximilian Pegasus. Of course, that's not his full name in the Japanese version, but they, of course, made him Maximilian because they gotta say he's rich, you know, and he's powerful. But whatever, let's keep on going. He invites Yugi over to a giant tournament. Now, this is where they changed the whole plot of the series. See, the whole plot of the Japanese version was Joey wanted to enter the tournament, and everybody was aware of the tournament. In this version, they didn't have no idea what the tournament was, and then Yugi just got invited to it. But anyway, Pegasus has his own Millennium item, which is an eye. So he wants the Millennium item from Yugi. He wants to take it. So he's just like, I'll challenge this kid. I'll beat him, and I'll take his item from him. So he brings him over to his island. Of course, Yugi's not going to go. He's like, why should I go over and fight you? He's like, because if you don't, you'll never see your grandfather again. And he steals his grandfather's soul with his Millennium Eye. Apparently that power is there, you know. So, with that, he's forced to enter the tournament. He goes over to the tournament, and this is where they screwed up the entire rules of the game. The rules of Yu-Gi-Oh! Do not apply to this TV show in any way, because they added elemental abilities, they added characters would get stronger in certain fields, other characters were immune to other characters' element. This is not in the actual card game. There's only a handful of Yu-Gi-Oh! Video games that do this too. But aside from that, this show did not follow the plot, or at least they didn't follow the rules of the card game until Season 2. They got pretty close. Now, what's actually really funny about this is I love the stereotypical characters that are portrayed on this island. Immediately off the bat, you can be like, yep, you can duel him, you can duel him, you can duel him, him. Because they all stand out so well. They stand out. I'm just going to bring up the names. Rex Raptor, what do you think his cards are? Mako Tsunami, what do you think his cards are? My Valentine. I mean, they're fun set pieces, you know, they're fun characters to just go through instead of having generic duels. To be like, hey, I can beat you. Of course, they're going to have over-the-top characters, and that's really cool. But again, 4K's version changed dialogue and changed parts of the plot points. And I'm going to throw another example in there. The first duel was with Weevil. And for his rule, he said he stole the new rules because the new rules applied that characters get field power bonuses. Some characters are immune to things like stuff like that, you know. Well, in the Japanese version, Pegasus told him the rules after he beat the tournament, and they show that on TV in the second episode. So they wanted to make Weevil more evil. I understand that, but you don't really need to change it that way because he did something evil before. So why add that? Now I gotta say, the duels themselves, playing a card game, they make it the most epic thing you could think of because the duels themselves are placed on giant holographic arenas. These arenas look cool, and the monsters' holograms are giant. They're like just beasts, man. There's like, from a simple card that is so small, they make these things to be Goliaths, duking it out against each other. It's so cool. They turned this simple game into something that everybody wanted to see. Monsters battling each other. Kind of like Pokemon. These holographic arenas are really cool. And what's some weird thing about them, though, is that when you place the card down, it reads the card, it frames up the holographic image into this giant. I just want to know how it reads the card, because they put the cards down like that. When they want to put it like face up so the thing could read the name and everything, but no, it's just like face down. The thing can somehow face through the card, and it can just summon it. It's TV stuff you're not supposed to understand. Now, for the most part, on my thoughts, this show kind of holds up, but at least 4K's version kind of holds up. I know the Japanese version, for me, will hold up strong. The one thing that's holding this show back is the exposition. It is breaching Naruto flashback levels of exposition. Like, it is so ridiculous. Like, there were, during duels, and near the end even, that's especially near the end, they just talk and explain and talk and explain. In the Japanese version, for certain duels, they only explained a little bit here and there, and then they did their turns and moves, and the duels were longer. Another example, in the Japanese version, the Weevil duel was 2 episodes, but they montaged the song in the 4Kids version to speed up the duel. The whole reason we watch this show is to watch these guys duke it out, monster for monster, strategy, thought for thought, against each other. But 4Kids decided to eliminate this. They wanted to shorten it out with exposition and friendship speeches, and they wanted to remove any and all sorts of violence in the show about monsters battling. Funny thing, they removed guns too. Like, anytime somebody's pointing a gun, it's so obvious they're pointing a gun because, oh my god, funny. The first time somebody pulls out a gun, they're pointing their hand out like this, and there's supposed to be a gun in their hand. It's like, Mr. Pegasus would like to have a word with you, and there's 2 guys, one right here, one right here. It's so obvious there's supposed to be a gun right there, but they just made it a finger. Why? Like, kids are afraid of guns. They're like, oh my god, guns. And even one where Bandit Keith is holding a gun to Pegasus. Sorry, spoiler, that's gonna happen, but he's holding a gun. It's holding like this, like he's supposed to have a gun in his hand, but he's like, you will make me the king or whatever, and this is like, well, what are you going to do about it? Like, seriously, what's he going to do? Is he going to lean forward and tap him in the face? Tap him in the face? Really? No, he had a gun. I don't see the problem. You show monsters killing each other. You see people doing all these horrible things to each other to win, and yet you decide guns are bad? Another funny thing is that in certain dubs people couldn't say certain lines. Like I think the most famous one is on the boat when Taya is supposed to say she has to go to the bathroom, and then Tristan's like, well, why don't you just go out by the lake or out by the dock? That's from the Japanese version. In the 4Kids version, she goes, I think somebody's coming. I think it's really creepy. Or I want to go to sleep. It's cold out here. Something like that. And then Tristan says, in just a few hours, the sun will be up. Why? Bottom line, 4Kids, they went too far with this. They thought kids couldn't take some of these things for some odd reason, and they botched the show a little bit. But the overall experience of the show is still there. The fun of the show, the card games and all that, it's great. So if you do like the card games, go for it. Even the Dungeon Dice Monsters thing is really cool, even though it's loaded with exposition. Almost every turn is just explaining after that turn's over. It kind of sucks that they do that, but I can kind of understand why if they're introducing an entire new game, but that was a little too much. Especially in the Joey versus Yugioh duel, the Pegasus versus Yugioh duel. Oh my god, man. Occasionally I was just going, shut up! No more explaining! Oh. My favorite duel, though, is the ones where the games do change. Like, my personal favorites from this season, from season 1, is the Paradox Brothers duel, because it's a 2-on-2 duel, Joey Yugi, Paradox Brothers. And they duel in a maze. That's actually kind of an interesting thing. If you're going to change up the game, you might want to make something interesting out of it. And they turned it into a maze game for a couple episodes, and that was a cool idea. Or everybody loves Mako Tsunami's character, so they love the Mako episode. And that was not bad. I gotta say, Mako did make it pretty good. The Dungeon Dice Monsters thing, I thought was a cool idea. I thought was a cool concept to introduce this new game right at the end of the season. After the tournament, everything's breaking down. Just want to introduce a new game. That's cool and all. I mean, after the season's over, after the duels and everything, and they get off Duelist Island, they have a couple episodes after that, and that's not bad. I really appreciate they didn't just end it at the tournament and be like, oh, we're done. Done. No, they had more episodes, which is cool. I appreciate that. Another really cool thing for the box that I gotta give it to is that it looks awesome. I mean, look at this. You got a Blue Eyes White dragon on the front. You have like one half here that's Exodia's half. I assume the other DVDs are going to have that, like kind of like the Dragon Ball Z DVDs did. And on the back it even says, it's time to duel. So brownie points for that, man. You get some points for this really wicked box set. But you lose points for the content. I'm sorry, guys, but the content here is none. There is no content, not even a trailer for other TV shows. There's no trailers, there's no subtitles. There's not even subtitles for the English dub. There's no commentaries, there's no, hey, here's how we made this, here's how we did the dubbing, no cast interviews, there's nothing. It's just go straight to the episode selection and play all. Which is cool that they do that. I don't want to see through a billion trailers before I see my show. I want to go right to the front. That's cool for that. But for content, for people who love to learn about the show that they're watching, that they paid so much money for, I paid almost $30 for this. I paid $25 for that. So content screwed me over. But hey, it's a lot better than paying a couple $100 for the other box sets and tins of Yu-Gi-Oh, which probably do have subtitles. But I'm just saying, this is the good cheap content if you just want your episodes. It is the 4Kids version only, so be wary of that. But I gotta say, I enjoyed this show from beginning to end almost as much as I did when I first saw it. It really did bring back my love for the show. It really did bring back my love for the game. And I appreciate that. And I will be buying the next box set so I can give it a recommendation for the Yu-Gi-Oh fans out there. If you don't know anything about the show, I'd say watch the Japanese version first. Or if you're really desperate, this is the cheapest you're going to get to a complete Season 1 set right now, at least in America. So go for it. Just don't expect too much content, okay? But if you're not, and you're only expecting the Japanese version, skip this. I'm sorry. It's not your time yet. And that brings me to my final anime rating for Yu-Gi-Oh! And this is counting the 4Kids Season 1 version. I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10, folks. That is my personal recommendation. You should check this series out. It does have its problems. It is a bare bones set, but it is cheap. It gives you straight the episodes. It gives you the episode of 49 episodes to go through. It's a good selection, and it's better than the volume sets. So enjoy it there, and I'll see you guys on the next Anime Weekend.